That's number
Well, he
one.
wasn't tested. The allegation is that he was intoxicated. I don't believe he agrees with that characterization.
Mr.
Your Honor, for the record, my name is Jeffrey Bennett, and with that, we have Mr. Woodley standing to the right. Sir, please state your name.
James Dennis Smith.
This is a continuation of the hearing. Is there anything additional from the people?
Nothing additional from the people here.
Anything additional from the defense?
Nothing. Yes, Your Honor. One thing additional is that if the court finds that money bail is necessary, I believe that based on this case, an appropriate bail would be something like a $10,000. The current bond conditions regarding specifically a GPS tether with the exclusion zone and the drug and alcohol testing, I think, address what the primary concerns are in the report. He was intoxicated, and of course, he should not be drunk. But the reason I think primarily that the $150,000 surety bond is excessive is he has no history of any violence whatsoever. In fact,
Well, can I just stop you there? Because I have some concerns about the representations of what happened that were made to the magistrate at the time, and some of them made to me yesterday. I went back and listened to the arraignment. And my understanding is that the alleged victim in this case contacted the defendant to pick her up from Chelsea bowling lanes or something along those lines.
he went to Chelsea Lanes to make sure she got home safe because she was intoxicated.
Right. And then after that is when this ensued. I'm having difficulty. Well, let's put it this way. According to what I have, he shouldn't have been driving. That's number
Well, he
one.
wasn't tested. The allegation is that he was intoxicated. I don't believe he agrees with that characterization.
Mr. Bennett, do you know what you said at that hearing regarding intoxication? Well, first of all, I don't think there are two issues there. One, he wasn't supposed. My understanding is his license is revoked with restrictions, and that his activities in going there that night would not have been within his restrictions on his license.
Okay.
Right? Secondly, with regard to the incident, the indication is he was trying to get his keys to then drive again, which would have been outside of his restrictions on his license. And there was at least the indication when there was a talk of intoxication that the defendant at that time may be intoxicated.
I believe I said exactly that. He may have been intoxicated. Can I address that concern or not?
Go ahead.
Your Honor, if that's the concern is that he was driving when this happened, then an added condition of he can't be driving without a valid license.
No. My problem is with the whole story. Because why is he getting his keys to drive when he's not supposed to be driving? is what I mean, I'm having difficulty even understanding the events as you're telling me they may have existed at that time.
She was intoxicated at Chelsea Lanes. He went to try to drive her home. She refused. She drove her cell phone. I haven't seen the alcohol test. I don't know whether that's or not. He followed her home to make sure she got there okay. The parties, he had generally, I believe, according to the report, it's spent most nights there. Then they got into an argument and he tried to leave, couldn't find his keys, and that's when the incident with the bed, the phone, and the glass breaking. I think, in my opinion, those sort of discrepancies are only, I guess, the absolute truth, I guess, would be relevant to the bond, but they decrease the likelihood of conviction when you have the alleged victim saying that her statements weren't entirely accurate, and wishing to recant, and him saying he was looking out for her. When the argument got loud, he had asked her to keep it down so her children wouldn't hear them arguing, because he was concerned about trauma they experienced from a prior abusive relationship. And telling her to calm down actually escalated the fight, and that's when the incident happened in the bedroom, which there's a disagreement about what that was. That, at the end of the day, resulted in the injuries that were sustained by the alleged victim to her wrists, our arms, and a head. I would clear up, since you gave me the chance, there were actually, I believe the people said there were 3 CAT scans, there were 4, there were 3 x-rays. I was able to do what they provided. But I think that the key issue in this bond is somebody who is a close friend, the alleged victim, has known Mr. Whitley for 20 years and said he's not violent. This has never happened. So, regardless of whether or not there's a conviction for purposes of bond, he does not pose.
Well, if I consider him a danger, yes. I mean, what I've got here is I've got somebody that shouldn't be driving, who may have been intoxicated, who would have driven on 2 occasions when he's not supposed to be driving, in violation of his restricted license, breaking the law. Then I have this confusion about the incident. I don't even know why she would have his keys if it now, as you're relating to me, that he drove and then followed her, which was not the indication that I got from listening to the arraignment. And then an altercation occurs that results in what I would consider significant injuries to the alleged victim in this case, to the point of a level of medical care that was required regarding that person, which I think would have been significant. And then from that, does she have to keep moving? And then, you know, it creates in this court's mind a level of potential danger that this individual poses, potentially to the victim as well as to the community. It certainly raises that level, because he's not this law-abiding person that you say he is, because he's obviously driving. I mean, he's got those previous convictions, which led to the revocation of his license, which led to the restriction, and he's violating that. twice that night, at least. So, Sparoso, was there something else?
No, you're right.
Anything else, Mr. Bennett? Anything else, sir?
No, I just don't know. I get that he was driving when it's violating his restriction. That doesn't warrant $180,000. I do think that some cash bond is appropriate at this point. I think it should be something that policy. Especially
Understood. And what I am additionally indicating is that in listening to what was the representations at the arraignment regarding what transpired, listening to what transpired that day, hearing what is today, it's unclear to me that that's what actually happened. Because that's not what's been said on the defense side about how this whole thing comes about. I then end up with an individual that is severely injured where they're at the hospital getting the treatment that they're getting. There's some indication that that's her fault. Maybe. But then, and that the defendant is trying to get away. I just find that version of events, it may indeed be true, but I find it, at least at this point, to be sort of remarkable that that would be it. The court, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I think something like testimony.
Oh, I'm sure it certainly will, but I don't have that at this. Normally, when you're in a bond hearing, I have to assess it based upon what I see, and I would say also, with all due respect to the magistrate of this court, that making a statement of giving a PR, but then indicating that the people might file an emergency bond motion, how she'd know that, I do not know. But that, from my perspective, leads the court to believe that it was in part of the court's funding, but also as a result of what the court is looking at in this case, would find that her decision to issue a PR bond was indeed an abuse of discretion in issuing that bond. The court will leave all of the conditions that she set in place. I will set the defendant's bond in the amount of $35,000 cash surety. Court does call the case of Arbor One versus Tatiana Tedder.
Cheryl Walkup on behalf of the plaintiff.
She's here, I know, because she's
Yes.
always here. All right. Miss Tedder, good morning.
Good morning.
All right. How much is owing on this one?
Total including court costs $2,956.10.
Miss Tedder, how are you going to get that paid?
Well, I'm working with DHS and I'm working with another place. But the thing is, Your Honor, I have a tax return check that would have been in the mail if my mailbox door would have been fixed. I've been without a mailbox door for over 60 something days, and so all my mail is getting returned back to the place, back to the company. So I'm not getting my mail on time. I just got my court summons on last Thursday in the mail, and I've been seen to coming through the mail weeks ago. So I'm having a hard time with that situation.
Your Honor, just for clarification,
Yes.
how are you getting, because that's not atypical that you received on Thursday. Are you saying yesterday you received the papers for today?
No, I'm not saying yesterday. I'm saying last Thursday.
Okay. I mean, that doesn't
then I've
surprise
been
me, but
seeing
how are you?
them- I've been seeing the I don't know if you know what the USPS mail system thing is on your phone, but you can see your mail coming to your mailbox before it gets there. And I see my mail coming, but I won't get it because I haven't had a mailbox door for over 60 something days. So they're sending my mail back to the
What do you
mailbox.
mean?
Your Honor, were you saying something? I couldn't hear you.
No, I was wondering,
Oh,
she says she
okay.
doesn't have a mailbox door. I don't know what that means.
So we have mail. I just moved in here February. When I moved in here, I haven't had a mailbox door for 60 something days. They put the mailbox door on. I had to wait an extra 3 weeks after that to get a key. Now my mail is still not coming like it's supposed to come. So all my mail that I've been getting, I haven't been getting my mail from DHS or anywhere. So, that's putting me in a hard spot to pay anything when all my stuff is coming through the mail is being resent back to the place because they don't want to come and fix the mailbox. Everything is on their time. And then
But
go ahead.
I just want to understand, you're saying on one hand that you don't have a mailbox door, but then you were saying that they fixed the mailbox door, and then you're saying you're
Right.
not getting mail, but you're saying
Right.
you received this in the mail. So I'm just trying to understand so I can help you.
Okay, so ma'am, when they send you the mail, it takes long to get the mail. Then I have to wait for them to send the mail back to the company, and then the company resends the mail again. You
Okay, but
understand
hold
what I'm
on,
saying?
Miss Tedder, I think what's being asked is, do you have a mailbox?
Yes, I do currently. Now I do have a mailbox door, but I have to wait for them to resend the mail over and over again to even get the mail. I would have been had my rent paid if I would have been had the mailbox door, but with them sending my mail back every time it comes, I can't get the mail.
All right, so ma'am, you're indicating that there was a tax check you were supposed to receive?
Yes, and my bridge card, I can't get that.
Well, hold
Hardly
on,
anything.
ma'am. And you were gonna use the tax check to pay the rent?
Correct, because I'm currently just stopped working. Because I'm 8 months pregnant, so I'm just stopped
Okay,
working.
all right. Okay, ma'am, here's what you're gonna have to do. You're saying you have proof that it was delivered to your mailbox
I have
via
proof that
the
a lot of mail
UPS?
been. Yes.
But the one I want to see is that the tax check came to your mailbox. So you should be able to print that email and send it to the court.
It's
And
not
there
an
should
email.
be a
It's
nice
just
picture of that check.
it's not a picture of the check. It's just a picture with Stan from the Treasury Department. It's like a real picture of the mail.
No, I know. I know what it is. I'll see the
Okay.
envelope.
Okay, yeah, and then I had something else as well. I don't know if it's like Arbor One on here as well.
Pardon?
I said it's Arbor One on here as well.
What do you mean, are they on here?
Like, because I've been having issues. I've been having issues with them coming to fix my property, period. I have black mold growing under my sink. I have a sick child in here who has a heart condition already. My kitchen floor is so wet from every time I turn my dishwasher on, turn my kitchen water on.
Miss Tedder, here's what we're gonna do. Miss Tedder, you need to submit to the court. I want to see a copy of the email that shows that your tax check came or either wasn't delivered, but I want to see proof that it was headed to your mailbox.
Okay.
And then you're going to need to file an answer if you're claiming that there are repairs that aren't done. Did you submit a request for repairs?
I have submitted so many requests. I have went to the office so many different times.
All right, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to put all of that in writing. You're going to have to send the court a copy of the repairs that you're requesting, as well as a copy to the attorney for Arbor One.
Okay.
Miss
I need that in
Tedler.
writing. I
Sorry,
need that
go
in
ahead.
writing to the court by next Thursday.
Okay. And like I said, I am working with DHS and stuff too, because now I don't know how long it's going to take for them to reissue the check and stuff. So I did call so I can at least have something going on. Because
What check? DHS issued, you say they issued you a check?
No, I'm saying I'm working with them because I don't know when I will receive the check again through the mail.
Okay, I need proof that you're working with DHS also.
Okay.
So you're gonna need to get all of that to the court and a copy to counsel. If I don't get this stuff, then I'm gonna grant them a judgment. Understood?
Yeah, how will I send it in?
Pardon?
How do I send it in?
It can be brought to the court anytime. We're
Okay.
open every day from 8 till 4.
Okay.
Turn this out to the 17th, 2024. What time? 3 p.m. Okay, thank you. Whitaker Oaks versus Anthony Williams.
Daniel,
And
yeah, Daniel Landman
Christi-
for the plaintiff. I do see Anthony and Christina Williams, or at least one of them.
all right, where are you folks? You can speak up.
We're here, Your Honor.
Okay, there you are. Both of
Yep.
you are there. All right. And what is the claim in this?
Your Honor, my client is showing a balance of $2,212.95, as well as costs of $214 for a grand total of $2,426.95.
Your
And
Honor.
folks, yes, ma'am.
It's confusing because they brought us paperwork and my balance shows 1,085, but they have us connected to all of the paperwork they sent us in the mail is somebody else's lease. It's somebody else's total stuff, but I was told 1,085. And I did try to take partial payment, but I was told by Chloe until you tell her she has to, that she can't accept partial payments.
Okay.
Because we were
All
in
right.
court with you in February, sir, and I lost my job because I was in court. So I've been working for 2 weeks and I have $600 right now to give them. And then next week I can give 400.
And we'll just continue, to
I-
pay, but I have cancer. I don't work, and she lost the only employment we had from going through this last time. And now
All right.
she's just,
So you can pay 600 today,
yep.
and
then
then you say you'll have
400.
400. What day will you have 400?
On Friday.
Of next week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm not sure where the 2,000 and something came from. The balance on my paperwork I have from
Okay.
the
Hold
court.
on. Hold on. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. The paperwork that you're probably looking at, because it's at $1,087.59.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that was the complaint that you're looking at, but May's rent has clicked in.
Right,
Okay,
I understand that, and
okay.
I will have that before the end of May. I mean, I'm doing my very
All right,
best.
all right, Miss Williams.
Yeah.
Let's try to take it one step at a time. You guys are gonna basically get $1,000, and then we'll try to see and try to figure out the rest. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So, Miss Williams, you all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this. You've got the 600 today, right?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Williams, get that over to the landlord. Mr. Landman, direct your client to accept her partial payment.
I will do that, Your Honor,
And they really should be doing that anyway.
as well as
And
the others that
then-
you've ordered today.
Yes. And Miss
You're-
Williams,
Yes.
then I'm gonna adjourn your case out to May 17th, 2024 at 1 p.m. When you have the other 400, right? Don't
Ye-
wait to come to court for me to order it. You take it right over there to them.
Okay,
no
I will,
problem.
most definitely.
All right. And then what we'll do is we'll take a look at where you are next week and see what we can arrange.
Okay,
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. We'll see you then.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Court calls case of GPM Property Management LLC versus Danielle Gillespie.
Good morning, Your Honor. Carrie Zanin, P67390 on behalf of plaintiff.
Good morning.
Hello, I'm
Danielle
here.
Gillespie?
I'm here.
Okay. All right.
you
What
hear
is
me?
plaintiff's claim in this case?
Your Honor, plaintiff shows that rent is due in amount of $1,279, court costs of $175 for a total of $1,454 at this time.
And Ms. Gillespie, what do you have to say about that?
I'm working with the legal aid, and they said to ask for an adjournment, and then I also have half the amount secured already through DHS.
You have, say that again?
I have the amount of $620 so far that DHS is gonna pay, and I'm
So
gonna go through.
they approved you?
Yes, so I just have to get the rest of the amount.
All right.
Judge, I'm sorry, did she say $680 is approved?
It should be 620.
Yeah.
There are 3 people in your unit.
Yes.
Yeah. So 620.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. And you have that secured. And so legal services is, you're working with them, ma'am?
Yes, I did an intake, and they said to ask for an adjournment for today.
All right, I'll give you your 1-week adjournment. This matter's adjourned to May 17th, 2024 at 2 p.m.
All right, thank you.
Correct, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls case Whitaker Oaks versus Holly Derby.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Daniel Landman, P35797, representing Whitaker Oaks. I did see Ms. Derby. I saw her name up here on Zoom.
I'm here.
Derby, do you have a camera?
Let me figure out how to. I don't use Zoom off.
All right, there you are. All right, good morning. What's the claim in this case?
Your Honor, based on my client's books and records, they're showing a rent to retain of $3,269.37, as well as cost of $175 for a grand total of $34,4437.
And ma'am, how are you intending on trying to get that paid?
The amount is actually $2769.37 as of 2 days ago. I contacted Hawk, and I have an appointment on the 23rd with them. I had already contacted Hawk in February and made an appointment for mid-April, but they said that they couldn't do anything for me until I had a court order. So as soon as I received the court order, I called them back, and I have to start all over again with the intake.
And I would indicate that I think, unless there's been some funding that has come in over the last week, that they're likely out of funding. So I'm not sure how that's going to work for you. When is your appointment with them?
On the 23rd.
Okay, I can't get to the 23rd on this case. Why are you saying that the amount is different than what plaintiff is claiming?
Because
did you make a payment?
I dropped off a money order 2-3 days ago.
How much was that money order?
What I could get out of my advance from work, which was
I'm sorry, you broke up.
500.
That was a couple of days. Do you see that, Mr. Landman, as a payment?
Your Honor, I'm checking what we have for ledgers, and as of May 6th, we are showing the balance of $32,69.37. So if money was dropped off after the 6th, then it would not have been reflected on the ledger.
So that 500 maybe it may not have been accounted
Could very well be.
All right. All right, ma'am, I can grant you a 1-week adjournment, but you're going to have to try to find some funding to do this. Otherwise, or have some alternative plan, because as I've indicated, my understanding is there may not be money available through Hawk.
Okay, yep. I'm working with my job as well.
Well, I'll adjourn this out May 17th, 2024 at 1 p.m. Okay?
Okay.
Court calls the case of Whitaker Oaks versus Scott Freeman.
Daniel Landman appearing for the plaintiff. Mr. Freeman is present.
Mr. Freeman?
Yes, sir.
There you are. Okay, you're my phone call. All right, Mr. Landman, what's the claim?
Your Honor, based on my client's books and records with respect to Mr. Freeman, we are showing a balance of $2,592.49, as well as cost of $175 for a grand total of $2767.49.
That's not what
Mr.
they told
Freeman?
me when I called up there.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
That's not what the manager told me, Chloe, when I called her. She said it was $1,700 and like almost $1,800. I don't get paid till but the third Wednesday of every month, so I don't get paid till the 15th.
Okay, and on the 15th, how much are you going to pay?
I only get $1,670 a month, sir. I can pay that for sure.
$1,670 on the 15th?
Yes, sir. I only get paid third Wednesday of every month.
All right, that's fine. So let's do this. You're going to pay at least $1,600 on the 15th?
Yes, sir.
All right, then I'll adjourn it out to May 17th, 2024 at 1 p.m. What you're going to have to do, though, sir, is you're going to have a plan that's suitable for the court and the landlord as to how this other balance is going to get paid. If the $1,600 plus isn't paid on that date, I'm not really going to hear anything on the 17th. I'm just going to you're going to get a judgment against you. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Very good. We'll see you on the 17th. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
You too. Whitaker Oaks versus Orange L. Gardner.
Daniel Landman for the plaintiff, and I do see Orange L. Gardner among the Zoom attendees.
Good morning, Ron.
Okay, there you are. Hello, Miss Gardner.
Hello.
Okay, how much do we have? Do you have a camera? Oh, there you are. Okay.
Your
How
Honor,
much?
the balance reflected is $2,616.57, as well as cost of $175 for a grand total of $2791.57.
All right, Miss Gardner, how are you intending on getting this paid?
I get paid on the 15th and the 31st of every month. And I plan on paying both checks towards my rent. And I'm also waiting to hear back from Latanya from Friends.
I'm sorry, I'm not picking up the last part.
I'm going to use both of my checks to pay my rent. I get paid on the 15th and the 31st of the month. And I'm waiting to hear back from Latanya at Friends Indeed.
Okay.
I just got released to work.
Okay, so how much are you gonna put on the 15th?
15th, my whole check, I'm gonna be putting down $1,100 on the 15th.
I'm having a difficult time. Your microphone's muffled. How much did you say?
$1,100 on the 15th.
Say that again.
I think she said $1,100, Your Honor, on the 15th.
1,100? Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Maybe it's my hearing. All right. You're to pay $1,100 by the 15th. I'll adjourn this out to the 17th and then we'll see where we can go. But if that money's not paid, then, and you said you have Friends Indeed also?
Yes, I'm waiting to hear back from Latanya from Friends
Okay.
Indeed.
All right.
She told me to submit everything because I just got released back to work from restrictions from my doctor from my car accident.
Got it. All right. So I'll adjourn this out to the 17th at 1 p.m. If it's not paid, I'm going to grant a judgment. I don't want to have to do that, but let's see then if we can work it out. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Gardner. BMC REO LLC versus Nettie Whitlow. That matter's dismissed on plaintiff's motion without prejudice. Whitlow, Yolanda K. Yolanda? No, it's Yolanda Whitlow Tyrus.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a lot of names. You made me say all that, and
Yes.
they dismissed your case.
Is that okay for you?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Can you let me know how it was dismissed or why?
Why? I do not know. What I can tell you is they sent to us a notice of dismissal
Yes, sir.
yesterday. So I don't know if this was a non-payment case. It was a termination case. So I have no idea why they dismissed it, but they have.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Okay, you do the same with all those names. All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Group 5 Management versus Charlie Ziegler.
Morning, Your Honor. Lisa Schneider on behalf of the plaintiff.
Charlie Ziegler, they have not checked in. Would you like to take a default?
Yes, Your Honor, I would.
Raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead with your claim.
Your Honor, rent to retain is $1,542. Court costs are $196, and the total is $1,738. And in the event we have personal service, we are also requesting a money judgment to enter in that amount.
You do have personal service on 5-4. So
Okay,
judgment
great.
to the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your
Judgment
Honor.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession. Redemption amount is in the amount requested with the writ issue in 10 days. Money judgment will issue in the same amount. Thank you.
Thank you,
Group
Judge.
5 versus Hornberger, and Group 5 versus Moore, and Group 5 versus Knight. Those matters are dismissed on plaintiff's motion without prejudice.
Hold on one second.
Whitaker Oaks versus Sawilla Wilson.
Daniel Landman for the plaintiff, Your Honor. I don't see her on the screen.
Sawilla Wilson, check in. She did not check in. You may proceed with the default, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, based upon my client's books and records with respect
How
to
do I
Ms.
get back to
Wilson.
them?
Hold
my
on.
client-
Hold on. Is that them? No. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Lane.
It's fine, Your Honor. My client is showing a balance of $3,333.99, as well as costs of $175 for a grand total of $35,0899. We would move for the entry of a possession judgment in that amount with an order of eviction to issue after May 20th.
Judgment to the plaintiff by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested. Writ issue in 10 days. We'll call your case momentarily. Jacqueline Hunt.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. No response. This indicates personal service was made. Would you like to take a default?
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
State your claim, please.
Your Honor, as of this date, it is to our knowledge that the apartment is vacant as well. Accordingly with the defendant, Jacqueline Hunt, or any occupants of the subject property 7200 Whitmore Lake, apartment number 4, having failed to appear, plaintiffs respectfully request this honorable court to enter a default judgment in their favor with a writ to issue in 10 days on May 21st, 2024, Your Honor.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession. No redemption amount, writ to issue 10 days from my signing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Daniel
And-
Landsman appearing for the plaintiff.
And Amanda Mitchell. They are not. All right, they're not here. And you paid for the second service. Would you like to take a default, sir?
We would, Your Honor.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor. Your
ahead.
Honor, based upon the books and records of Whitaker Oaks, there is currently a rent arrearage of $3,148.69, as well as costs of $214 for 2 tenants, for a grand total of $3,362.69. We would request a possession judgment in that amount with an order of eviction to issue after May 20th if said amount is not paid or if the tenants do not vacate the premises.
Judgment to the plaintiff by default for possession. Redemption amount is in the amount requested with the writ to issue in 10 days. Whitaker Oaks versus Scott O'Toole. ought to. That matter's dismissed on plaintiff's motion. Harkett Sagebrook versus Sophie, is it Kate Jelsovic? That matter's dismissed on plaintiff's motion without prejudice. All right, is that all of yours, sir?
It is, Your Honor. Thank you and have a great weekend.
All right, you do the same. Christopher Ellis versus Derek Fair, that matter's dismissed on plaintiff's motion without prejudice. The defendant is present. Mr. Fair, you're present?
Yes, I am.
All right, your case has been dismissed. We received a dismissal.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you. Court does call the case of 7200 Whitmore LLC versus Jacqueline Hunt.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sharab Dar, P 86504 on behalf of the plaintiff.
We have Jacqueline Hunt.
No, I didn't.
They are not present.
Case number for the bankruptcy.
Maybe. You got a phone number? There's somebody has called in, last three digits 890. Could you identify yourself, please?
Your Honor, I don't have a case number on my paperwork.
Okay, what's your name?
Scott Freeman.
You got it, do you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. You can mute yourself.
আপনার যদি লাক ভালো থাকে আমাদের সাথে নেক্সট অডিশন রাউন্ডে আপনি যেতে পারবেন। হ্যাঁ,
মানে এটা আপনি কেকের উপর দিতে পারেন না, দিস ইজ প্লাস্টিক, রাইট?
ওকে ওকে।
থ্যাংক ইউ। আপনি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন কি বানাতে পারেন?
ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন আমি পারি না। আমার মনে হয় আপনি একটু সময় নেন, ভালো করে শিখেন। জি।
হ্যালো শেফ, হ্যালো ম্যাম, হ্যালো ম্যাম।
হ্যালো।
এটা হলো আমি করেছি কোয়েল বেগুনের কালাই টাক। আমার আঞ্চলিকতাকেই আমি ফিউশন হিসেবে এখানে তুলে ধরেছি। আর পাশে ডেজার্ট হিসাবে রেখেছি জাম্বুরা খোসার মালাই চাপিটা।
ইন্টারেস্টিং। এটা প্লেট করা কোথা থেকে শিখলেন?
এমনি কমপ্লিট করার পরে যখন ঢাকাতে চাকরি প্রিপারেশনের জন্য যাই, তখন ওখান থেকে 3 মাসের একটা কোর্স করেছিলাম। ওখানে আপনার ডেকোরেশন, প্লেটিং অনেক কিছু শেখাইছিল। ছোটোখাটো কিছু ওখান থেকেই শেখা হয়েছে। আর ইউটিউব, সুপার শেফ, মাস্টার শেফ, কানাডিয়ান, অস্ট্রেলিয়ান এইসব দেখেই শিখেছি। আর আপনার ফুড নিয়ে এক্সপেরিমেন্ট করতে ভালোবাসি। খাদ্যের অবশিষ্ট অংশ ফেলে দিয়ে আমরা অনেক সময় নষ্ট করি, যাতে ওইগুলো আমরা ফুড হিসেবে আবার প্লেটিং করতে পারি, সেই হিসাবে এটা আমার করা। জাম্বুরার
সেরা রাঁধুনিতে কি ফার্স্ট টাইম?
না, এবার দিয়ে আমার সেকেন্ড টাইম।
আচ্ছা,
এর আগের বার আমি এসেছিলাম আপনার ওই টিভি ছিল।
আপনি কিচেনে কাজ করেন না কেন? হোটেল বা রেস্টুরেন্টে কাজ করেন না?
আমি আপনার 17-18 মাস মতন কাজ করেছিলাম আপনার রূপপুর পারমাণবিকের পাশে, মানে অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট হিসেবে ঢুকেছিলাম। পরে শেফ চলে যাওয়ার কারণে পুরো আমি হ্যান্ডেল করতাম ওইটা।
কিচেন লাইনে কাজ করতে চান?
অফকোর্স, এই জন্যই এখনো এর পিছনেই ছুটছে।
আপনার আইডিয়াস অনেক ভালো, ফুড আইডিয়াস অনেক ভালো, ফুডের টেস্টও অনেক ভালো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আপনার খুব ভালো চেষ্টা ছিল, আর আমরা নতুন রেসিপি দেখলাম।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
তো আমার মনে হলো আপনাকে আমরা একটা ওয়েটিং কার্ড দেই। আপনার যদি লাক ভালো থাকে আমাদের সাথে নেক্সট অডিশন রাউন্ডে আপনি যেতে পারবেন।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাঁধুনি।
আমি নিয়ে এসেছি প্লেন রাইস, সরষে ইলিশ, আর হচ্ছে একটা ডাউল রান্না, বাড়িতে নর্মালি যেটা রান্না হয় আর কি, আর হচ্ছে 3 পদের ভর্তা।
এতটুকু তো এনাফ না সেরা রাঁধুনি হওয়ার জন্য।
কি রেসিপি বানিয়েছেন আজকে?
এটা স্যার ফ্রাইড চিকেন আর ফ্রাইড রাইস।
বাসায় রান্না করেন?
জি জি।
কি ধরনের রান্না?
নর্মাল রান্নাগুলো আম্মু করে, আর একটু মানে অন্যরকম রান্নাগুলো আমি করেছি।
আম্মু তো সেরা রাজনীতি গিয়ে রান্না করে দিয়ে আসে।
না না, নর্মাল রান্নাও পারি, নর্মাল রান্নাও পারবো।
একটু স্কিলটা বাড়াতে হবে। হ্যাঁ,
আমি নিয়ে আসছি অ্যারাবিয়ান চিকেন খাফসা।
এখানে স্টার অনিস ব্যবহার করেছো? স্টার অনিস অনেক বেশি স্ট্রং ফ্লেভার আছে।
খাপসা নিয়ে এসেছি, এটা খাপসা হয়নি।
আবার আসবে।
চিকেন ললিপপ সাথে একটু সুইটের জন্য চকলেট কেক নিয়ে এসেছি।
ললিপপের সাথে রাইস যায় না।
Chicken lollipop is a starter.
এই জিনিসগুলো অবশ্যই মাথায় রাখতে হবে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
শারমিন কি বানিয়েছেন আজকে?
আমি এটা কাঁচা পেঁপের লাড্ডু বানিয়েছি।
শারমিন এটা আপনার নিজের রেসিপি?
জি।
ইটস রিয়েলি গুড। আমি খাওয়া স্টপ করতে পারছি না। আপনি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন কি বানাতে পারেন?
ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন আমি পারি না।
আর মনে হয় আপনি একটু সময় নেন, ভালো করে শিখেন।
জি।
ফারজান আক্তার মিম
জি।
কি বানিয়েছো?
পায়েস।
এত বড় প্লেটে কেন?
আসলে ডেকোরেশনের জন্য একটু বড়ই নিয়েছিলাম।
ডেকোরেশন তো ভালো লাগছে না।
পায়েস সাধারণত এভাবে সার্ভ হয় না।
আপনার নাম বলবেন আর কি রেসিপি বানিয়েছেন সেটা?
আমার নাম মোহাম্মদ শাফিউল আলম, ডিশের নাম লেয়ার হ্যাভেন টিট।
এটা হ্যাভেন কোন দিক থেকে হলো?
একটা স্মুথি ভাব আসে এই জন্য।
একটা বাইট দিলাম আর একদম উড়ে হ্যাভেন। আমি খেয়ে যেটা দেখলাম কেকটা খুবই ড্রাই। সরি টু সে আমি যেতে পারি নাই হ্যাভেন।
অডিশন রাউন্ডে বিচারকদের কাছে প্রতিযোগীদের রেসিপির পাশাপাশি ফুড প্রেজেন্টেশন, কুকিং স্কিল, নলেজ, সেলফ কনফিডেন্স সহ বিভিন্ন বিষয়ে পরীক্ষার সম্মুখীন হতে হয়। সেই পরীক্ষায় অনেকেই বিচারকদের প্রত্যাশা পূরণ করতে পারেননি, তাই সেরা রাঁধুনি হওয়ার স্বপ্ন তাদের এখানেই থেমে যায়।
অয়েল ফ্রি আলু পনির। এটা
পনিরটা কিভাবে বানিয়েছে?
পনিরটা এটা কেনা পনির।
তাহলে তো আলুও বাজার থেকে কেনা। তাহলে আপনার কি?
আমার রান্না রেসিপি আমার।
আমার নাম নাসরিন আক্তার মিম। আমি আজকে করেছি ভ্যানিলা কেক, সাথে আমি করেছি হাঁসের মাংস।
কেকের সাথে হাঁসের মাংস।
কেকটা এখানে কেন, মানে টাব থেকে এডিবল?
নো।
সো এটা এডিবল না। এন্ড দেন হোয়াই ডিড ইউ পুট?
নো, এটাও এডিবল না, এটা হচ্ছে প্রপার। হ্যাঁ,
মানে এটা আপনি কেকের উপর দিতে পারেন না। দিস ইজ প্লাস্টিক, রাইট?
ওকে ওকে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Mình đã xong con nhím với cái màu nâu này nhé. Phần những lá mình sẽ tô bằng màu xanh. Những trồng cây mình cũng tô bằng màu xanh nha. Đây nữa nè. Đây là các phần cái cây nhỏ ở dưới của cái tán lá cây to nhá. Những cây cỏ nhỏ ở dưới á. Phần gốc cây mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu nè. Thân cây. Đây là cái màu nâu nha. Phần thân cây mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu nha. Một gốc cây cổ thụ rất là to. Với tán lá này mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu xanh lá này nhá.
ওয়াও মনে হয়, ভিজুয়ালি দেখতে অনেক সুন্দর হয়েছে।
হ্যাঁ, প্রেজেন্টেশনটা ভালো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
ওয়েটিং কার্ড পেয়েছি। ঢাকা অডিশনের জন্য একটু টেনশন হচ্ছে নেক্সট রাউন্ডে আমি যেতে পারবো কিনা।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাধুনী।
সুরাইয়া পারভিন, কি বানিয়েছেন আপনি?
আমি একটি ডেজার্ট নিয়ে এসেছি আজকে, লেয়ার কার্ড ফ্যান্টাসি।
আমি জানি না টেস্ট কেমন, আমি জাস্ট আপনার প্লেটিংটা দেখেই ওয়াও মনে হয়। ডেজার্ট ছাড়া আপনি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন আর কি বানাতে পারেন?
থাই, চাইনিজটা পারি।
থাই আর চাইনিজ কুইজিনের মধ্যে পার্থক্যটা কি বলতে পারবেন?
কিছুটা কাছাকাছি, কারণ এই দুটার মধ্যে আপনার যেই জিনিস প্রোডাক্টগুলো আমরা ইউজ করি প্রায় একই রকম। অনেকটা ডিফারেন্স আছে। থাই খুব ঝাল হয়, চাইনিজ অত ঝাল হয় না। আর থাইতে প্রচুর কোকোনাট ইউজ করে, চাইনিজে অত কোকোনাট ইউজ হয় না। এছাড়াও এরকম অনেক উদাহরণ আছে জি দুটো ফুডের মধ্যে। জি,
সেরা রাঁধুনিতে কেন এসেছেন?
আমি মনে করি ম্যাম সেরা রাঁধুনি একটা হচ্ছে বিশাল বড় একটা প্ল্যাটফর্ম, যেখানে নিজেকে আমি উপস্থাপন করতে পারবো সবার সামনে, আমি আমার প্রতিভাকে দেখাতে পারবো। ফিউচারে আমার খুব ইচ্ছা নিজেকে একজন সফল উদ্যোক্তা হিসেবে তৈরি করা। আমি মনে করি সে রাঁধুনি আমাকে সেই প্ল্যাটফর্মটা আমাকে তৈরি করে দিল।
আজকে যদি আমরা আপনাকে ওয়েটিং কার্ড না দিই তাহলে আপনার কেমন লাগবে?
ভালো খারাপ দুইটাই লাগবে। কার্ড পেলে ভালো লাগবে, না পেলে ইনশাল্লাহ পরের বার আরও ভালোভাবে চেষ্টা করে আসবো।
আপনি তো আমাদের আগের চ্যালেঞ্জেসগুলো দেখেছেন, অনেক ইন্টারন্যাশনাল, অনেক ফিউশন, অনেক ডিফারেন্ট টাইপ অফ চ্যালেঞ্জেস থাকে। সো আপনার মনে হয় আপনি রেডি?
ইয়েস, আমি রেডি।
তাহলে চলে আসেন, আপনাকে আমরা একটা ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিতে চাচ্ছি।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার। ওয়েটিং কার্ড পেয়েছি, ভালো লাগছে। জাজরাক আমার ফুড খেয়ে অনেক প্রশংসা করেছে। ঢাকা অডিশনের জন্য একটু টেনশন হচ্ছে নেক্সট রাউন্ডে আমি যেতে পারবো কিনা।
সীমানা যতই হোক দেয়ালে ঘেরা, এ আমারই মঞ্চ, জানি আমি সেরা।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম সালাম।
আমি শারমিন সাবা লিনা। আমি আজকে নিয়ে এসেছি পিনা কোলাডা পাইনাপেল কেক।
ভিজুয়ালি দেখতে অনেক সুন্দর হয়েছে।
হ্যাঁ, প্রেজেন্টেশনটা ভালো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
কি করেন?
একাডেমিক পড়াশোনা শেষ করেছি আমি, আর বর্তমানে আমি কালিনারি আর্টসের উপরে ডিপ্লোমা করছি। আর হোমমেড একটা খাবারের বিজনেস আছে যেটা আমি আমাদের এলাকাতে রান করছি।
শামিন, আপনি কোকোনাট ইউজ করেছেন এখানে?
না সে
পিনা কোলাডাতে কিন্তু কোকোনাট যায়। ইটস আ
জি।
মিক্সচার অফ পাইনঅ্যাপল এন্ড কোকোনাট।
কোকোনাট
আমার কাছে মানে কেকের টেস্টটা বেশ ভালো লেগেছে।
আমার কাছেও কেকের টেস্টটা
Balance.
ভালো লেগেছে। ইটস নট টু সুইট, দেয়ার ইজ পাইনঅ্যাপল। when you call
Very
it,
juicy.
থ্যাংক ইউ ম্যাম।
আপনি এটা ছাড়া আর কি রান্না করতে পারেন? ঝাল খাবার কি রান্না করতে পারেন?
বিরিয়ানি, কাবাব, হচ্ছে মুঠি কাবাব, শামি কাবাব,
Internationally?
আছে জালি কাবাব,
ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কোনো খাবার?
যেমন চাইনিজের মধ্যে ফ্রাইড রাইস, চিলি চিকেন, ওনথন, থাই স্যুপ, এগুলো সব পারি।
চাইনিজের মধ্যে তো থাই আসে না।
আপনি নার্ভাস কেন?
ভালো আসছে না।
আমি জানি আপনি জানেন, বাট আপনি নার্ভাস কেন এত?
প্রথমবার আমার অডিশন তো সেই জন্য।
আগে কেন আসেন?
আগে আমি মানে গত সিজন আমি ভাবছিলাম যে দিব, তারপর ভাবলাম যে না, আমি একটু কাঁচা আসছি, এখানে তো দেখি অনেক সব দক্ষ সবাই আসে, ওই জন্য আমি ভাবছিলাম একটু ভালো মতো শিখে তারপর যাই, সেই জন্য।
সো আপনার মনে হয় আপনি এবারের জন্য রেডি?
হ্যাঁ, আমার মনে হয় আমি রেডি আছি এবারের জন্য।
তাহলে আমরাও রেডি। এখন আপনাকে একটা ওয়েটিং কার্ড দেই।
থ্যাংক ইউ শেফ। শেয়ার রাধুনির ওয়েটিং কার্ড পেয়েছি আর আশা করছি গ্র্যান্ড অডিশনের জন্য সিলেক্ট হব ইনশাল্লাহ। এটা পেয়েছি, এটাতে অনেক খুশি লাগছে। ইনশাল্লাহ গ্র্যান্ড অডিশনের জন্য সিলেক্ট হলে আরও বেশি খুশি হব।
Mình đang tô phần lông của chú vịt mẹ với cái màu tím nha. Chú Khắc ơi, Cái giấy khai sinh đấy có cần ngay hôm nay không? Hôm nay cháu không đi công chứng được, nếu mà cần ngay thì phải dùng bản sao. Nhưng mà hơi tiếc bản sao vì hôm đấy nhà cháu làm có mấy cái. Tưởng là chưa cần ngay để mai cháu đi công chứng thì lấy bản công chứng. Nhưng mà nếu cần ngay thì để lại nộp bản sao vậy. Bản sao hôm đấy nhà cháu lại làm hơi ít. Làm có 5 cái thì lại lộp hôm trước 1 cái rồi, hôm nay 2 cái nữa là 3 cái. Thế thôi đưa luôn, hôm nào cháu lại đi làm vậy. Tưởng là chưa cần gấp ấy thì là để cháu công chứng thì nó dễ hơn. Công chứng thì công chứng ở đâu cũng được, nhưng mà bản sao thì phải đúng ủy ban. Vâng, cần luôn thì lấy luôn. Vâng. Thế chú nhé. Mình đã tô xong với cái màu tím rồi nhá. Mình sẽ cắt cái màu tím lên đi. Với phần lông của chú vịt con mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu vàng nha. Với cái phần mỏ và phần chân cũng vẫn là cái màu nâu. Mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu này.
আমি আছি বগুড়ায়, আর বগুড়ার সব সেরা রাঁধুনিরা তাদের হাতের খাবার নিয়ে চলে এসেছেন। কেমন করছেন তারা, চলুন দেখা যাক। দর্শক, অসংখ্য প্রতিযোগীর মধ্য থেকে প্রাথমিকভাবে বাছাইকৃত প্রতিযোগীরা আজ হাজির হয়েছে বগুড়াতে। প্রত্যেকের স্বপ্ন একটাই, হতে চায় সেরা রাঁধুনি, এবং একটু পরেই তারা মুখোমুখি হবে বিচারকদের। তারা কি ভাবছেন, মনের মধ্যে কিরকম দুশ্চিন্তা হচ্ছে, কে কি রেসিপি নিয়ে এসেছেন এবং তাদের জন্য কতটা সহজ হবে ঢাকায় যাওয়ার টিকিট পাওয়া, কথা বলবো প্রতিযোগীদের সাথে। দেখি তারা কি ভাবছেন। কেমন আছেন?
ভালো আছি, আপনি ভালো আছেন?
আপনার রেসিপি কি?
আমার রেসিপিটা হচ্ছে ক্যারামেল অরেঞ্জ ইয়োগার্ট।
ওকে, এটার মূল ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস কি?
এটার মূল ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্ট হচ্ছে দই, বগুড়ার বিখ্যাত দই। আমি সেটা দিয়ে ফিউশন করার ট্রাই করেছি।
আপনি এর আগেও অংশ নিয়েছিলেন সম্ভবত 1427 এবং গ্র্যান্ড অডিশন থেকে বাদ পড়েছিলেন, রাইট?
রাইট।
এবারের রেসিপি কি?
এবারের রেসিপি হচ্ছে আমার চকলেট মোকা স্ট্রবেরি চিজ কেক। অল আর মাই সিক্রেট রেসিপি, সো আই এম ভেরি এক্সাইটেড।
কুমু, কেমন আছেন?
ভালো আছি, আপনি কেমন আছেন?
খুব ভালো। এর আগে 1427 লাকি 7 থেকে বাদ পড়েছিলেন, এবার কি মনে হচ্ছে?
প্রথমবারের যে অভিজ্ঞতা, বর্তমানে আমি তারপর আরো 2 বছর সময় নিয়েছি, শিখেছি, তো নিজেকে এবারে তৈরি করে এনেছি। ইনশাল্লাহ ভালো কিছু একটা হবে।
আপনার রেসিপির মূল বৈশিষ্ট্য কি?
আমার রেসিপির মূল বৈশিষ্ট্য হচ্ছে গ্রাম্য নিয়ে এসেছি, মানে আমার গ্রামের যে জিনিসপত্র সে প্রেজেন্ট করবো।
একসঙ্গে কতজনের রান্না করতে পারবেন?
আমি যদি বলি, এখন আমাদের বাসায় যত গেস্ট আসে আপ টু 20।
একটু কি ভয় লাগছে?
হ্যাঁ, একটু ভয় কাজ করছে, কারণ ফার্স্ট টাইম কোনো রিয়েলিটি শোতে আসছি।
তারপর আপনার জন্য শুভকামনা রইল।
সো মাচ।
দর্শক, ভয় তো লাগবেই, এবং এই ভয়কে জয় করাই হচ্ছে যে কোনো প্রতিযোগীর কাজ। সেরা রাঁধুনি কিন্তু একটা লম্বা প্রতিযোগিতা, এবং এই রেসে টিকে থাকার জন্য আপনাকে অবশ্যই অন্যদের চাইতে বেটার রেসিপি দিতে হবে, এবং সেই রেসিপির মধ্য দিয়ে কিন্তু যারা আমাদের বিচারক রয়েছেন তাদের মন জয় করতে হবে। সো দেখা যাক কি হয়, আমাদের সঙ্গেই থাকুন। দর্শক, আমাদের মাঝে বিচারকেরা চলে এসেছেন। একটু পরেই শুরু হবে ফুড টেস্টিং এবং সেই সাথে জাজমেন্ট। আমি এবার কথা বলবো আমাদের বিচারকদের সাথে, দেখি তারা কি ভাবছেন। ওয়েলকাম টু বগুড়া অডিশন। কি খবর?
ভালো, তুমি কেমন আছো?
আমি খুব ভালো আছি, এবং আমি ভুল না করলে এবার দিয়ে বোধহয় পঞ্চমবারের মতো আপনি আসলে বিচারকের দায়িত্ব পালন করছেন। বগুড়ার প্রতিযোগী, সর্বোপরি এবারের প্রতিযোগীদের নিয়ে আপনার কি বলার আছে?
প্রত্যাশা তো অনেক বেশি, কারণ বগুড়া সবসময় সব সিজনেই অনেক ভালো ভালো পার্টিসিপেন্টস আমরা পেয়ে থাকি সেরা রাঁধুনিতে। তো এবারও আমি আশা করছি যে অ্যাটলিস্ট টপ 5 পর্যন্ত যেন যেতে পারে, এরকম পার্টিসিপেন্টস আমরা এখান থেকে নিয়ে যেতে পারি, এটাই আমাদের প্রত্যাশা।
শেফ নাইম আশরাফ দ্বিতীয়বারের মতো সেরা রাঁধুনির অডিশনের দায়িত্ব পালন করছেন বিচারকের। কেমন লাগছে বা কি মনে করছেন এবারের এই আয়োজন নিয়ে?
সেরা রাঁধুনি গত সিজনে আমরা রংপুর দিয়ে শুরু করেছিলাম, সো এবার বগুড়াতে নতুন পার্টিসিপেন্টসদের খাওয়া ট্রাই করার জন্য ভেরি এক্সাইটেড। রেসিপি সিলেকশনে আমি সবগুলো রেসিপি দেখেছি, সিলেক্ট করেছি, সো ওগুলো খাওয়ার জন্য এবার এখানে আশা করি অনেক ভালো পার্টিসিপেন্টস বগুড়া থেকে পাবো।
অনেক অনেক ভালোবাসা। আমার মনে হয় আমি আর সময় নষ্ট না করি, আপনার ভেতরে চলে যান।
তোমাকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ।
থ্যাংক ইউ। দর্শক, আমাদের প্রধান 2 বিচারককে তো পেয়ে গেছি, কিন্তু বগুড়াতে রয়েছেন আমাদের আরও একজন অতিথি বিচারক। তিনি ঠিক কোথায় আমি এখনও জানি না, তাকে খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না। তিনি এলেই কিন্তু শুরু হয়ে যাবে আমাদের মূল অডিশন রাউন্ড।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাঁধুনি, mình đã tô xong quả dứa với cái màu cam nha, phần lá là màu xanh nè, còn phần chùm nho này đây là một chùm nho chín nha. Mình đã xong cái màu cam này rồi, mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu tím nha, màu tím nha. Đây là cái màu tím nè. Mình sẽ xếp lại cái màu của mình vào cái hộp màu này. cho nó đỡ chặt nha. Với những quả nho màu tím nhá, mình sẽ tô một chùm nho rất là nhiều quả nho nhỏ nha. Mình đang tô phần chùm nho với cái màu tím nhá. Một cái giỏ hoa quả gồm 4 loại quả là quả xoài, quả táo, quả cam và quả nho. Mình đang tô phần quả nho nha.